Looking at or taking a little bit of a deeper dive into the Tron DApps. There's been recently, probably in the last month or two, there's been a lot of adoption in the Tron DApp space, and I got into this a few days ago. I mainly got into, I'll show you guys, basically some of the main ones. Like if we're looking at DApp Radar, there's Tron Bank, P3T, and Bankroll. So 3 of the top 4, the ones I got into. I was kind of interested in TronBet with getting into Ante, though. Like there's a lot of different opinions about some of these, getting into some of these DApps. So like some of these DApps are like really high risk, and so like I'm wondering about like the sustainability about some of these. Like for instance with like, Bankroll. So you can see here, like I got into Bankroll, and Bankroll is like, seems to be one of the better ones. Like I haven't put a whole lot in, but I guess what I put in like 8,000, which gave me like a little bit under 7,000, and I've already made like 1,000 back. There's the Tron Bank, which is doing a little bit better. So this is currently right now number 1 at 3.336%. A bunch of different plans, with this, yeah, like I guess I've made like 650 Trons, so not a whole lot, but the contracts have gotten a decent amount of traction with those. And so I mean, the thing with these is like you're gonna have to watch them. Like you're gonna have to pay attention to these, and perhaps like some of them may collapse, or they may have like whales that get in and they take like a bunch out at one point. Like I think that there's a lot of potential with some of these, but yeah, like I mean they're I don't see as much sustainability behind some of them, but I still think that getting into some of these at the right time, like you can do well. But the like some of these are like really looking promising. So like you have this Tron Radar, like these gaming DApps, and so apparently they're going to be doing this like every 24 hours. They're going to be doing dividends starting April 1st. So like I've heard like different things about P3T. P3T is like I heard that it wasn't doing as well. Like essentially like I was thinking like a lot of these, like I was getting into them like late, so like I wasn't really sure like if like that was my kind of my hesitancy to get into like the Tron DApps at first. But I think like right now when you're comparing like the adoption's a little bit down when you're looking at like the daily active users, but still like in the thousands. But you can see like they're slowly like declining, but that may be just because because of the timing of things. Like they may have different times where they are doing a little bit better. You can see like P3T just recently has a little bit more adoption in them. So I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, they. I don't know if I'd necessarily call them scams, but they're high risk. Like you have to kind of know like what you're getting into, and for sure, like you could get into these and lose what you put in. Like you don't want to. Like I consider this like play money, and some of them may do well, some of them don't. Like I know when I got into the Ethereum DApps, like back like last summer, I would say like probably like 80% of them didn't do well, but the ones that did do well did really well. And so like for instance, like the FOMO project, all it really took, the FOMO 3D project, which was a kind of like the next step with the proof of weak hands contract, like that thing exploded, and I was able to get into that super early, and I did really well. I didn't probably have the right strategy because I was reinvesting like a lot to get into that contract, because I had a lot of faith that it was not going to have any issues or problems. But like while it was pumping, like I've never made more money in cryptocurrency than when that contract was pumping. And these types of like contracts, though they are like high risk, they're very high reward. And if you get into them at the right time, some of them may explode in adoption, especially if you start to see a little bit more of the foreign markets kind of getting into them. I've been talking with a few of my Filipino friends that are kind of interested in some of these. If they do have the ability, like if you get something that kind of has like a gaming element behind it, because I really see like this could really, this could have some adoption like with some of the smartphones, and I think that like you may start to see that from like a gaming perspective, where you have people that get into it that are just that are wanting to play with like a little bit of money, which is like the Tron being at what like 2 cents. I'm gonna look up Tron. Tron was at like still like 2 cents. So currently the 11th based cryptocurrency. I think that even if you're getting in and playing with some of these dApps, and like Tron really starts to do well, like it's like this kind of weird way of like hodling, right? So but like the contracts in Tron Bank and Bankroll are going up, so they're not at a point where it looks like they are going to collapse at least anytime soon. But you gotta keep an eye on it. You gotta keep these are the kind of ones you want to check into. They have some different. I haven't really got into like the Telegram groups. There's all of them have like separate Telegram groups where they're getting in. Like there's like I don't know, that kind of gets. I don't know if I really kind of wanted to get too much into getting into all of the Telegram groups I mean, they're pretty straightforward. Like if you're familiar with like the smart contract space, setting up a Tron link. So I put like the Chrome link or the Tron link extension, you plug it into your browser, and you're good to go. Like, so here's mine right here. I don't have anything in there right now, but you have to have like, much like with MetaMask and Ethereum, you have to have enough in there for the transaction to process some of the transactions. So I'm still kind of learning about that. I don't know what's going on with Troncrush. Like I heard a lot of people were saying they got like scammed in this one, but I mean it's like, or the UI was down. I know this is like really new, so I don't really understand some of this. Like I've been in there's a couple of like aggregate groups. Oh, thanks, Mike. Appreciate that. Tron Bank is number one. It's number one on Tron radar, or DApp radar for Tron DApps. Yeah. These contracts, like I don't know, like even some of the ones that are like similar. Like one of the things they were talking about with like Tron Bank. One of the risks was if like whales started getting into like the 6.66% element, like they could potentially like drain the contract on these. I think most of the people are getting into like the lower end. Like that's what I got into, is like the 3.6, like maybe the 4.6 might be the next most popular option. So I don't have a whole lot in here. Like I think I put in 4,000 Tron, which I don't even know how much that is. But like these are ones that you can kind of play around with, just with like a little bit of money. So yeah, there's kind of like that high risk, high reward if you want to play with a lot of money. I'm not really doing that yet. So, and then like one of the other things I'm looking at doing is this seeded thing, like for my Telegram group. I've got the link in the description below for my Telegram. But like this is kind of a cool way to tip like content and things like that, like on Telegram. So I'm looking at basically. Oh, you got 1 million in Tron Bank? That's cool. one of the whales, I guess. The seated thing I think is kind of cool. Like I saw that in a few different Telegram groups as a way to incentivize like content. Like if someone posts something really cool or gives like some interesting feedback. Like I got some interesting notes just kind of going around, or some things and some insights from people on some of the different Telegram groups. I'd love to be able to reward that, and that's one way. So I added the bot to my Telegram group. I gotta set it all up, and there's a couple. It's fairly simple and straightforward, but I'm gonna start doing that for people that are like posting cool memes, or giving some insights, or just posting cool content. Like I want to reward that. So there's so many of these different dApps. Like a couple of the other ones that like I've seen that are promising. Like the ones I'm in Bankroll, I'm in Tron Bank, I'm in P3T. Like those three right now I'm in. But there's a lot of these other ones that look interesting. I guess one of probably like of all of the ones that I'm kind of looking at right now, it looks like this Tron Vault may be more promising. It's kind of the same thing, like 5%, 5%. So you can kind of check the contract balance. Again, you want to kind of keep an eye on some of these things. This Turbo Vault, same thing, like 10%. So kind of pyramid-y, hourglass style contracts that, one way to kind of check into some of these, like if you come in here, like just taking a look at some of these, like let's take a look at Tron Vault. I think this is one of the ways to kind of, maybe evaluate some of these. Like you can see that there was a huge surge in adoption March 26th and has kind of fallen off. So perhaps this may not be one of the better ones to get into. I mean, maybe if people want to share some of their insights on this, either in the comment section below or in my Telegram group. I mean, like if I know like people have been reaching out to me and they've been giving me, a lot of times they're just kind of shilling referral links. But if like if they have some genuine insights on some things, and they have like a way to do well in some of these, like the gambling ones, like if there is a way to make them not zero sum, like that was one of the big issues with like the Ethereum dApps, was that they're all zero sum. So it's like they're all basically like you just have to get in early and hope that like there's a big surge in adoption, and that people are getting into those. So I don't know, some interesting ways. Like I'm interested like what's going to happen with this Tron Radar one. Like I really feel like the gaming ones have probably the most potential. Like here in the Philippines, like you'll see like there's like everyone's really kind of like on their smartphone, and a lot of people are into gaming. And once you start kind of integrating like micropayments and that sort of thing into what's going on, I mean, you take a look at something like Clash of Clans, or a few of the other, like even some of like the farming dApps, the amount of money that has been dumped into those like games, where you're not expecting like a return. You're just trying to advance in the game. Like you're just trying to maybe advance your status. Like, gosh, I mean, I have to look that up. Like how much Clash of Clans has made. That's I think one of the ways that like these become not zero sum, and that can really see like a surge in adoption. Let's see here, Clash of Clans. Let me just say earnings. I don't know. Let's see here. So saying the revenue exceeds 1 million after 6 years. Clash of Clans revenue still exceeds 1 million after 6 years. So there's approximately 1.5 million per day in 2018. That's how much they're spending in these games. There's like, in fact, the game is still generating more than 1 million in player spending per day. So, and a lot of those, like, I believe those are done with, they're not done with crypto, so they're done with fiat. But I think part of the issue is like not everyone's in crypto, and they're like they don't have like Tron Link set up, or they don't have any Tron. They don't know how to get it. That was kind of one of the things I was kind of trying to explain to some of my friends that are still new to crypto. It's like, you know, even with some of the ways to transact into Bitcoin and Ethereum, like they don't support some of the small, like I don't know if I'd call it smaller, but some of the altcoins. So like there's kind of an initial like another layer of adoption they need to get. But I'm interested to see the sustainability of some of these dividend paying contracts. So like, you know, I see this as kind of like a second wave after, you know, because we're not seeing the same thing with like Ethereum. Like Ethereum, all of those like traditional dApps in the space, like they're not even there anymore. I know this FCK contract was one that's interesting to see that number 7 position, but like I'm trying to look, like I don't think any of these in the Ethereum, like a lot of these exchanges and like some of these other ones, like I've seen, but here Proof of Week hands is way down. Now 29th, 45 daily active users. There's still like 20,000 Ethereum in the contract. Let's search that. Look at the balance. It's still the 3rd highest balance. So there's still people that have been holding in that contract. So that's interesting to see. But let's take a look. If we look at the Tron DApps and look at the balances, Tron bankroll. I mean, these two seem to be like the two biggest dividend paying ones. So like right now, like if I'm getting in, I'm thinking those are the two that look the most promising right now. And some of these other ones have potential. You see Tron Bet with the, I've heard that it's probably late to get into ante, you know, with Tron Bet. I don't know about some of these other ones. They don't have quite the same adoption. You can see like there's a lot of people. There's been a surge into the P3 network, and I've heard good things about 888 Tron. So interesting projects to get into. Like this is the Tron Bet, their exchange, which is Tron Trade. How often do they pay dividends? I mean, I guess it depends. Like some of them pay like 24 hours. Some of them pay like every minute. So there's, it just depends. Believe like, yeah, like these are like the Tron Bank every second, dividends every second, you know, and I believe the bankroll's set up the same way. So that's kind of the whole idea of kind of like the microtransactions and what we may see with like adoption in gaming. So, you know, I know like some people that have been doing videos or getting into this, like they've been kind of getting a lot of negativity like behind it, because they you know, it's like people didn't learn from a lot of the contracts that didn't do well on the Ethereum blockchain. But there were issues with Ethereum, like it didn't have the same scalability issues, and a lot of the dApps, like you wouldn't be able to put something that needs to do some of the all of the like if you're taking like a game, say a game like this Tron Radar, I don't think that something like this would probably function as well on the Ethereum blockchain. I think that you need the speed, you need the some of the different kind of newer advancements that we've seen with kind of like these 3.0 blockchains, where some of those dApps function, and they function just better on a faster network. bank luck gonna pay referrals from losing bets to Q. Interesting concept, might even work. How are they able to pay those returns? Well, it's like locked up in the contract. So like if I guess some people are still probably new to the whole, like some of these ROI DApp concepts, is a lot of it is kind of dependent on the contract balance. Like if it's paying out a, you know, like a high interest rate or something of that nature, it's pulling from the contract. Not everyone is pulling from the contract. Like they may be playing it more long term, where they're reinvesting, or I guess they call that like rolling and bankroll. Yeah. I think I'm sure how the reinvest works on like Tron Bank. I think you just withdraw on Tron Bank. I don't see like a reinvest option. Oh, this is kind of interesting. They got BTT coming soon. I didn't see that. BTT coming soon. Let's see if I click on that, see what happens. Nothing? Yeah, nothing. Dividends. Yeah. So I'm keeping an eye on these. I'm looking at these. Yeah, no reinvest on Tron Bank. I think that, like, you know, I just kind of wanted to get into them a little bit. Like, I'm not playing around with a whole lot of Tron, but I think when you get into them, you play around with them, and it's money you can afford to lose. I think this is kind of a way to kind of play with some of these. You're gonna take some losses in some of these. Like, not all of these are gonna be sustainable. But I think if you're spreading some things around, like maybe have a little bit more faith in some of these. And I think also sticking to the ones that are in the top, you know, the top few positions on DApp radar is one of the ways to go. So like if you're taking that strategy, like, and you had to pick a, like, you know, one or two, it's looking like bankroll, like Tron Bank are going to be two of your better options. But we'll see. I mean, they got a lot in the balance. Like you can see, like Tron Bank, 132 million TRX, and bankroll. Where's the balance at? So you can see the balance. Contract balance, 104 million. So balance has been high. I think when you start to see some of those drop, like that's when you want to start at least pulling out what you can daily and seeing if you can get your ROI at least. So, all right, guys, that's about it for me. Curious to kind of see what you guys think. So be sure to get my Telegram or leave some of your comments in the comment section below, and I'll swing back around and cover this in probably a few days. All right, guys, appreciate y'all staying online. Catch you guys on the next one.